Within Fairy Tail chapter 507, we saw the very beginning to the Jellal versus August fight. Now, for starters, although Jellal by no means is one of my favorite characters in Fairy Tail, I have to come out with it and say that I am so excited for this fight. Like, genuinely, I really have no clue why I am, but yeah, Jellal versus August is going to be an upcoming fight within Fairy Tail, and I'm so excited for it. As well, from the get-go, I was actually really anticipating something like Guildarts going up against August, but I have a feeling there's an underlying reason as to why Hero is setting up this fight between Jellal and August. I feel as if there's just a connection between the two that as of now we don't know about, but that we can find out through this fight. So without further ado, considering the fact that I've done so much research for this series and I just have so much to share with you guys, I'm gonna go and cut right to the chase. I believe that August is none other than Jellal's father. Now, for starters, as I said before, I've done a ton of research into this series, but let's go and start with the very basics of it. So back in the Edilis arc, the connection between Jellal and Mystigan was solved. It was a very, questionable thing within Fairy Tail, but it was finally solved back then, and it was the fact that Mystigan was actually Jellal's Edilis counterpart. We also found out from this that Mystigan was the Prince of Edilis, seeing as his father was the King of Edilis, none other than Faust. Now, the two characters alone, I'm actually referring to August and Faust right now, look almost identical to one another. It as well seems as if they both have somewhat of a similar fashion sense as well, with wearing clothes out of royalty. This is most likely because they both technically are of royalty, Faust more than August though. Faust is the king of Edilis and August is the king of all magic. We now have this connection laid out though. Mystigan is Faust's son, so it's possible that August is Jellal's son. Before I get into the research that I did, I want to bring up the possibility of Jellal actually being the prince of all magic, though. Now, this probably really sounds stupid to think about. August is referred to as the king of past, present, and future magic, though. And if his son is Jellal, he would technically be the prince of the past, future, and present magic. Now, this isn't a huge part to my theory, but as I said before, it probably sounds really stupid, but I don't know. Let's continue into the meat of this theory. So, for my research, I actually attempted to find a connection between the names August and Faust. Now, I did this because Hero is absolutely notorious for naming characters after certain things, an example being the fact that he named some of the family members in the Heartfilia family after songs of the Beatles. One example being Lucy's character, which was named after the song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles. Now, for starters, their names both actually end with the letters UST, but that's completely just, very minuscule when it comes to connections between the two. Now, there was a man named St. Augustine who was a philosopher who was actually said to be the smartest man of his time. This was a long time ago, which actually correlates in a way to August being the smartest and most knowledgeable when it comes to magic. Nevertheless, Augustine was a teacher who rarely accepted students, but one of his students was named Faustus, which is a Latin root for Faust. Faustus actually wished to learn from Augustine, and Augustine was so impressed with Faustus that he actually made him the successor of his after his death. On top of all of this, there's actually a German professor from the 1900s who was named August Faust. Now, with all of this and just knowing how Hero is absolutely notorious for giving a grand majority of his characters a deeper meaning when it comes to their name, I can't help but feel as if there's just some sort of connection when it comes to him naming August and Faust, and just the overall that Jellal's father is August, much like how Mystigan's father is Faust. Nevertheless, that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. There's a ton of research and just time put into, the background of the series, as I said before. So if you guys want to, you guys can go and show your support with a like rating on this video. It means a lot to me. And subscribe if you're new. Peace.